You mentioned just before we started recording that you actually were thinking about dropping law. So despite getting into it, why already, a few weeks in, are you thinking about getting rid of that? Because I think a lot of students out there listening who do well and get the marks will feel compelled to do law because one of those courses that has a bit more prestige attached to it. But why are you thinking about getting rid of it? And what's been your experience with making that subject selection going into university?
Yeah, look, I think there's definitely, some tough decisions to be made when you go into university, especially as a student who, may do a little bit better and can get into those courses which may hold a bit more prestige. I think I chose law maybe for the wrong reasons, and I definitely had an interest in it. My mother was a lawyer, my grandfather was a lawyer, and I did legal studies in school. And I think, my interest in law mainly pertains to business law. So that's more of like a kind of a subject area rather than a whole course. And just starting the degree, I kind of realized, 5 years of doing this, I don't want to be a lawyer. I want to go into finance. I think I really need more of a specificity in my study. And yeah, I just decided maybe it's not for me. Maybe making this decision early on will save me a lot of time and money, as well as allowing me to do a full commerce degree along with an associated study.
Yeah, and it's a gutsy thing to be able to, actually let go of that subject selection because a lot of people like having that title, but, it is an important thing to do if you do feel that that's not for you and you know that your interests lie elsewhere. So, I commend you for that because a lot of people just would stick it out and do it even though they know they shouldn't because they don't enjoy it. But there is a fine line there. I'll just say that with a subject like law, sometimes it is worth sticking it out because you realize later on that, hey, I actually really do enjoy this.
And that's the thing as well. Like I'm still enrolled in the course. So right now I'm doing all commerce units. So I'm kind of doing a commerce degree. But if I change my mind at any point, and this is probably advice that I have for anyone else who's in the same boat as me, I can just go pick up law subjects again. And maybe it will take me a little bit longer, or I can overload in certain different terms and fix it. But yeah, just don't make any decision that you can't reverse too early.
Yeah, that's great advice. And yeah, the idea that everything is final, is kind of misleading and illusory. Like it's not that when you make a decision to, oh, okay, I'm not going to do law at the moment, it doesn't have to be the final thing. You can always come back to it. You can get into it, as you said, you can just not do the subjects for a semester or a year and see how you're feeling then, and then take it back up. People worry about falling behind, but that's also just a trap, and that's just not a real thing. Like you're not going to fall behind. There's no, you don't want to participate in that kind of rat race and that mentality anyway, right? If it takes you 8 years to get through uni, it takes 8 years. You're still going to be in your 20s, life's long. So I feel like a lot of people try and race through it, and they feel like, oh, whatever I do now has to be the thing I maintain because I don't want to have to spend an extra couple of years doing a different subject. I don't want to have to look back and think, oh, I wasted those couple of years. But it's never a waste. It's about actually learning what you like. And to learn what you like, you need to learn what you don't like. And that's the advice I always give to students. It's that when you're at uni, it's not wasted time if you decide to change courses. That was very valuable because it taught you something about yourself that you might not have otherwise known. And that's that you actually don't resonate with that particular subject area or that subject matter. So yeah, I think that's a really important point.